Assalamu alaikum. Dear student, I am Shahid Ziaur Rahman, assistant teacher, Shahid Ziaur Rahman High School. I welcomed you to my online class. I hope that you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Dear student, today I would like to teach you about the English second paper on the topics of change of degrees. Dear student, in my few lecture I already discussed about the definition of degrees and the kinds of degrees. Today I would like to conduct my class from change the degrees from positive to comparative or positive to superlative and comparative to positive and comparative to superlative, and the last superlative to positive and superlative to comparative. Dear student, for your better understanding, I would like to deliver my lecture in Bangla. When I need to use English, I will use English, but then I translate into Bengali. Okay, my dear student, now come back to our class. At first, I write down some example on the blackboard. Suppose no other tree on the mountain was so high as it. Dear student, follow the example. No other tree on the mountain was so high as it. This is positive degree, and if we change this sentence from this type to comparative form, what will be the subject? Dear student, the subject which is used in a positive degree in the last moment, and when we change it into comparative degree, we will use the last subject at the very beginning of comparative degree. So it will be used at first, and follow the example no other. If the sentence of positive degree started with no other, then we will use then any other or then all other, etc. in the comparative degree. Dear student, at first we will use the last subject in the comparative degree. It will use at the first of the sentence. So it is the first word of comparative sentence. Then we will use the verb. So it was then we will use higher, the comparative form of the adjective higher. It was higher. Then we will use than any other, then we will use the words of no other, after the words no other, on the mountain. So it was higher than any other tree, on the mountain, Dear student, I hope that you already understood this sentence. It was higher than any other tree on the mountain. It is the comparative form of this sentence of positive degree. So, dear student, at first we will use the subject which is used in the positive degree last. The last subject will be used at first, then verb. So last subject, the structure is last subject plus verb plus comparative form of adjective plus then any other plus the words of use in the positive degree, the words after the word no other. That means on the tree on the mountain. That means other words which is used after the word no other. So my dear student, again follow. At first we will use last subject. Here last subject is it plus verb, was is verb, and the comparative form of adjective plus then any other plus other words. That means the rest words of the sentence. Okay, my dear student. This is the comparative form of this positive degree. And what will be the superlative form of this sentence? Dear student, in this case, we also use the last subject at first. Last subject. Now I am writing the structure of superlative degree. Last subject plus verb plus the plus superlative form of the adjective plus the rest of the words used after no other. Dear student, follow the structure again. At first we'll use the last subject at first, then we'll use verb, then plus the plus superlative form of the adjective, that means highest, and the rest of the words used after no other, and the words using in the positive degree after the words no other, we will use the tree on the mountain. So the superlative form of this sentence will be, dear student, now follow superlative form. The last subject of this sentence is it. So the superlative form will be, it was the highest, H-I-G-H-E-S-T, highest tree, highest tree on the mountain. Okay, my dear student, the superlative form of this sentence is, it was the highest tree on the mountain. Okay, my dear student, this is the first rule of degree from positive to comparative and superlative. Positive to comparative and superlative. Dear student, now I try to write down another example or another rules of positive degree and try to change this positive degree from positive to comparative and superlative. Suppose rules 2. Very few, dear student, follow the example. Very few subjects, very few subjects are as easy as agriculture. Dear student, this is the positive degree using the word very few. Dear student, follow the words very few. If the positive degree started with the word very few, then what will you do when we change it from positive to comparative? Dear student, follow the structure of comparative. Here also we will use the last subject at first. So the structure is last subject plus verb plus then most other. Sorry, the structure is, dear student, last subject plus verb plus comparative form. Dear student, comparative form of adjective plus then most other plus the rest word rest word of using after no other. After using after very few. Dear student, again follow the structure. Last subject plus verb plus comparative form of adjective plus then most other and plus the rest of the using word after very few. Dear student, now follow this example. Comparative form. Agriculture is easier. Agriculture is easier than most other subjects. Dear student, according to the rules, according to the structure, the answer is agriculture is easier than most other subject. This is the correct form of comparative degree. Okay, my dear student. Now follow the structure of superlative form. Here also we used the last subject plus verb plus the plus superlative form of adjective plus the rest words of using after very few. Dear student, the last subject is agriculture and the verb here used are, but agriculture as the word is singular number, so we will use is. So agriculture is the easiest. The superlative form of the adjective word easy will be the easiest. So agriculture is the easiest subject. Agriculture is the I have write down the missing word here, one of, then the. Dear student, again follow the last subject plus verb plus one of the plus superlative form of adjective plus the rest words of using after very few. Okay, my dear student. So agriculture is one of the easiest subject. It will be the correct superlative form of this sentence. Okay, my dear student, now I write down the superlative form of this sentence. Dear student, follow the Example, agriculture is one of the easiest subjects. Agriculture is one of the easiest subject. This is the superlative form of adjective. Dear student, I have already discussed minimum 2 rules of positive to comparative and superlative form. Dear student, I would like to write down another example of positive degree to comparative or superlative form. Rules 3. Dear student, now I try to discuss rule 3. He is as wise. Suppose he is as wise as his brother. He is as wise as his brother. Dear student, here also the comparative form will be at first the structure, last subject plus verb. Last subject plus verb plus not plus then plus first subject. Dear student, follow the structure. He is as wise as his brother. If the positive degree bears the words as dot dot as or so dot dot as, the structure of the comparative form will be here last subject plus verb plus not plus then plus first subject. Now the student follow the example. Here the last subject is his brother. His brother, here the subject verb is. His brother is. According to structure we use not. His brother is not. Sorry, here I have missing adjective. Last subject plus verb plus not plus comparative form of adjective. Comparative form, here we use, I have already missed this the word comparative form of adjective. So his brother is not. Here the comparative form of wise is wiser. His brother is not wiser than he. Dear student, again follow the example. He is as wise as his brother. As the sentence bears only the words as dot dot as or show dot dot as, the structure of comparative form will be last subject plus verb plus not plus comparative form of adjective plus then plus first subject. Dear student, according to this structure, I wrote the comparative form of this sentence is his brother. Here the last subject is his brother, and the verb is is. Then I use not, and the comparative form of the word was wiser plus then plus the first subject is he. In this way, we can change positive degree to comparative and superlative degree. Dear student, already you have followed that this sentence I did not make superlative form. It is not be possible for anyone to change this sentence from positive to superlative form. Dear student, so this sentence will not change into superlative form. So it will be only comparative form. So dear student, I have already discussed from positive to comparative and superlative form, and the topic is change of degrees. Dear student, if you enjoys this class on our school page, Shahid Ziaur Rahman High School, I think you will understand these topics clearly. But if you find any fault or any difficulties, then we will comment on the commentary position, and I will try my level best to teach you the actual form of changing degrees. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.